Hey guys and girls, welcome to the channel. You can tell I got trimmed up. I went to tune up the Manly Salon. Got all my beard trimmed and all that, my haircut and all that mess. But it needed to happen. So I hadn't filmed a lot in the past few days, had a lot going on, and let me clue you in on where we're at. All right, here we go. Okay, so we picked up, that's a brand new CD00A. Let me find somewhere on the packaging you can see. If you know what that's about, that's what we got. It's a brand new transmission. Done some trading around actually, I didn't buy it. Ethan, the kid that comes here, you might have seen him when we do some drifting, but he's working on him a Honda, so he's got the new S300 V3. Okay, picked up a couple more transmissions. Working on some projects here, trying to figure some stuff out. You may have seen the AR5. I've got just one more thing I think to get that together. I'm thinking. Let's see where we're going from here. I do have a mess. So here is flywheel, pressure plate. I'm waiting on a clutch disc. We got this stuff. This is the throwout bearing plate to change on the AR5 to adapt it to a R154. That's a R154 front piece. I got some bell housing bolts and stuff. This stuff is from Drift Motion. I wanted to try for a S14 2J swap, the max speeding rod outfit. $120 something for the swap mounts. I just wanted to see, and you know the brand. So we are going to a radiator for the IS300. This one, the actual red car. See there. Okay. What else? What am I missing? Oh. So we picked up a 4.6 Mustang GT. So it's got bald tires. All right, well I got this car. One of my renters ended up having it, and it's sat in their yard forever. And I asked him what he was going to end up doing with it. And evidently it didn't have a title. He traded on it a motorcycle. The guy went to jail and the motorcycle got taken away. So he couldn't get his motorcycle back. Guy never produced a title, so he kind of was stuck with it. Don't know the rest of the story. That's the story I got. $200. I think the fuel pump's bad. I thought it may be security, but we bypassed that. We got that jumped, and we're not getting any fuel. I don't think the security affects the fuel in the Mustangs anyway. We have keys. We've got the security, cut off or whatever, and so that's what I'm kind of working with that thing. But yeah, so that may be my temporary drift car. But for $200, we're gonna murder this car on the track. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see how that thing does. And several things going on. We are actually working on possibly manufacturing our own parts. I've been with a engineer, and we've been doing some measuring and some math and some fitment things and working on some projects. So quite possibly we may end up with our own brand of a few parts. So not that we are unhappy with the brands that we've used, not that at all. We actually, very few and far between when we find a brand we don't like. We just want our own. Why not? So working on a couple projects. They may or may not come to fruition. If they do, you'll see them. If they don't, we'll just sweep it under the rug and call it a loss. Maybe start on something else. And if it works out, we'll go there then. It's buying, selling, trading, trying to figure out, you know, the next avenue of approach. My guys out at the rentals today working on some of that stuff. We've had some roof leaks and stuff. So moving forward with the rental houses. And this is our off weekend, so it's actually a Friday, but of our off week, so tomorrow we don't drift. But I'm gonna try to change this radiator out so my son can get his car back. I've had it using his guinea pig for some of the parts we're working on. Might be a little bit of a hint there. And that's 14 too. We've actually had it in our hands trying to figure out some stuff for it. So I've got some prices on some actual, you know, machining some of the parts out and that type of stuff. So we're working on a logo on maybe 2 of the parts, so we might possibly have 2 of the parts here pretty soon. I really don't know just yet, but so that's some of the things we're working on. Let's see what else. My little black finance car, the Nissan Sentra, I don't know if I've even mentioned that, but it's almost done. I had to do motor mount, rear mount, and the serpentine belt tensioner. Got all that done, it's on. That was definitely the issue. What else? Did get some more things in. I don't know if I've mentioned everything. Yeah, I think I mentioned the clutch kit for the like W55, stuff like that. I got an R154 clutch kit, so then I have to have an AR5 actual clutch disc for the AR5, so that'll finish that up. And I think that's pretty much got you up to speed for the most part. So just dealing with the engineer and over at that project, that's kept me kind of hung up. And I've been waiting on the radiator and the CD00A. It's actually a CD009. It's like the revamped version of it. That just kind of fell in my lap. I didn't even order that. I traded on that. So what do I do with that? I don't even know what to do with it. So, all right, so we're going to figure out about this radiator. We're going to unpack it and possibly see what that thing's about, make sure it fits. See, I think I have a GS300 radiator, the shroud. The IS300, where this car's been hit in the front, the IS300 one has the reservoirs built into the front of it, so between it and between the radiator and the motor where the shroud sits, the reservoir is actually on the back side of the shroud close to the motor. Well, we've got well, we've done away with that, done the electric fans. We have the overflow moved off to the side. So we may try to use the GS300 dual fans if that aluminum electric fan setup doesn't fit to this. So if we do, we may just slide the GS300 ones in there and see if that works. Because it doesn't have the reservoir on the front of those. And that's what the problem with the IS300 one was. So, all right, let me unpack this thing, see what it looks like, and see how the fan shroud's gonna actually fit on this thing. So, all right, here we go. I think that bolt kit that I got in the bag, I think that's for the plate, and I think it's R154 bell housing bolts. I think that's what I actually ordered. Pretty sure. Check this jewel out, see what it's looking like. Well, the reason we went ahead and ordered the Mishimoto with the cheap eBay one, the cap would never seal. So the cap never actually sealing, we always had an overflow of coolant, and it always seemed to still run hot. But that could be due to electric fans themselves, or that could be due to the cap, you know, not fitting and not building pressure, and it just not going pushing through the system enough, maybe. Seemed like the fans never would kick on as often as they should, so we may later get a lower temperature fan switch is the next option. solid. First glimpse, looks pretty nice. It's aluminum welds. You can tell it's done in a commercial setting. I've seen better welds, but at the same time, commercial setting, you know, they do a lot of them, so they have to speed up the process. But I don't see that these would have any issues. I think these are really good welds. You can just tell that maybe they were done a little faster because they are in a commercial setting, almost like a spool gun. There sure is a lot of bends and dings and whatever in this thing to be a brand new radiator though. That's a fact. A lot of bent fans on this thing. And I literally just took it out of the box. There's quite a few bent fans on her. I may try to straighten those up and then we'll try to see how the actual fan and stuff fits. So, all right, let's give her a shot here. All right, boys and girls, have been working a little bit. Finally got my son. We got his IS300. We got the Mishimoto radiator in it. We got one of the fans is bad, so we're gonna have to get another fan. So we're gonna end up having to pull one of the cheap electric fans or whatever's on it at just the eBay knockoffs. But I did go to the parts store today, got a fuel pump for this thing. She runs. All right, remember now I paid 200 bucks for this car, and one of the fuel pump kits is $100, and that includes the sock, all the parts, the pump itself, and everything with that install kit. So I've got 300 plus a tow bill and some fuel. So let's say 350, and then whatever time to change it. So let's say I got $400 in this car. All right, from a business standpoint, I'm looking about 400 bucks. All right, here we go. It runs. We gotta fix the exhaust, but that's a 4.6 GT 02 model Mustang. $400. I don't think I can complain. Well, I've had a few Mustangs over the years. I did learn a long time ago, though. It doesn't matter how good they sound or whatever. It doesn't necessarily make them fast. So I don't know how they perform. I don't know if the 4.6 is actually a good Mustang. It's got, I really don't know anything about the car. The transmission's painted orange or something, and the brakes are, I think the calipers are blue or something like that. I think it's a Young Jeezy song or something, but Cadillac, anyway. So I don't know if it's just stock and the exhaust is the only thing, but I know it's cut off. It's got like, you know, cut off right behind the resonators off both sides. I'm going to take it to the muffler shop this week, go ahead and have some exhaust. The tail section's there, and it's just cut off way right about where the transmission is. And so I'm just going to add that piece back into the tail section and just go ahead and, you know, finish the exhaust out. We got to put some tires on it. I guess they put new tie rod ends on it, outers on the front, and so it looks like they were out of alignment pretty bad, and so they just never got it aligned, and it's just chewed both tires up. So we'll try to halfway straighten the front end up, and probably have to weld the diff. So I'll probably get the diff cleaned up to take to the muffler shop. It's straight axle rear end, so I don't want to have to drag the whole axle out. I may actually try to weld it myself. I may see if I can get my welding gear set up and see if that thing won't burn a little bit. Maybe try to MIG weld a little bit and see how it does. Never been in rear end of a Mustang. It's definitely not LSD or anything. It's a one-wheel peel. I did actually roll the wheels around, and it's just, you roll one, it rolls the other one opposite. So I know it'll be a one-wheel peel, but I mean, for the money, let's check this thing out. So let's give a little shout out. Let's show a little love to the Mustang people. And as you can see, this thing's pretty straight for $400. I mean, like, it's got a 10-bolt rear end. I don't know if that's good or bad. Somebody said that that's, you know, a good rear end for a GT Mustang. Straight axle. I don't know a lot about them. It's got all factory suspension. Like I said, they did change the outer tie rods. The transmission's been pulled, so it may have a clutch in it. I really don't know. I mean, but I know it's got a new fuel pump in it and it runs. So I don't know about plugs. I think it's all factory wires. So we'll get the exhaust straightened out, get some tires on it, take it to the track and see what she does. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching our video, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching all of our videos. We do appreciate it. All the merch, we've been selling all kinds of merch. We do have it on eBay, and we sell it on eBay, so that's been moving pretty good. Again, we are working on some new brand on some parts, so be watching for some parts to actually drop. And yeah, just keep subscribe, share our videos. I can't thank you guys enough, the ones that are doing that. We have tons of views, tons of, you know, on my end, I can see how many views and all that stuff we're getting. So we have tons of views. So thanks for everybody that's watching. Thanks for everybody. There's comments. Everybody's participating. Keep them coming. We like advice. We like anything you want to throw at us. We like to share information. My email is chesserenterprises@yahoo.com. So yeah, man, anything. I'm not a Mustang guy. This is a new experience for me. I've had one. It's been a long time ago. So back in the day, but this is a whole different ball game. And we're going to enjoy this. You'll get to see this thing drifting. We're probably going to go drift in maybe next weekend. We're on our off weekend. It's actually Saturday of our off weekend now. But when we come back to the drift track, this will be with us. So that's the goal anyway. You know how that goes. That thing may be broke the next time we get it out here and try to, you know, see what it'll do. It seems like it always happens. But I got some big stuff coming. I don't know how long we're going to end up in this shop. I'm still not 100% certain what's going to happen here. So bear with us with that. We may eventually end up in our own building. We may end up not having a building at all, and we just have to ride around and video what we can and just be done with what we're doing. But I have a lot of stuff going now. I have the new transmission. I've got the AR5 transmission. I got JZ stuff laying everywhere. We're getting closer to starting one of those projects. I do have one more part for the transmission, and I'm almost ready to start on the actual long block of the 2J. I've been kind of sitting on my hands about that whole deal. There's a decision when I'm trying to talk myself into either buying aftermarket pistons, or do I run the non-VVTi pistons and rods and just go to the 700 horse mark and call it a day. So that's what I'm still debating on. So that's the reason I'm kind of procrastinating on that deal. 700 horses is a lot of horses, you know, especially in a 240 or something. But do I go ahead and spend the money while it's all apart and I'm doing a whole, you know, short block right now? Do I just rebuild with factory non-VVTi parts, or which they're clean, they all look good, we're gonna have them balanced, we're gonna put all new bearings and stuff in it? Or do I just change the rods? Do I change both pistons and rods? Do I just change the pistons? Let me know what you guys think. By the time this video hits, we may have already started on it. I may already have a decision, but as quick as you see it and you wanna, you know, throw why and why nots, I'm all about learning educational stuff. If you wanna send me some 2J stuff, why and why nots, if you know, there's negatives on either one. But what I actually do is I will take the crank and my flywheel, I take it to the machine shop. All that rotating assembly will be balanced. The pistons, rods will all be balanced. Mike will order the bearings according to bearing sizes, and we will install all that, and it will all be balanced. So, you know, depends on, I guess, pistons or rods, what my top number is. So I think that'll be the only factor. 700 horses a lot. So do I limit myself, or do I go for that big number? So yeah, give me your opinion, guys. Shoot me some information. Like I say, like, subscribe, follow along, because I'm gonna need advice. I'm gonna need, you know, some folks to give their opinions of, you know, kind of help guide me if that, you know, be the case. I've had a lot of experience with Hondas. The 2J, this will be my first build, and you know, I have been watching Rad Dan a little bit. Shout out to Rad Dan if you know who that guy is. Definitely a big 2J guy, and those guys actually really got some pretty good information. Alberto Big Boost, I know everybody's that's into cars is about Alberto Big Boost. If you hadn't seen, check that guy out. He's got some straightforward basic installs on 2J stuff. So I've been kind of doing a little bit of research on this engine. It looks pretty straightforward. I don't want to make it sound less of a challenge by saying that it looks easy, because everything looks easy until you do it yourself, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, we'll get there from here, but what do I put in that motor? What brands, what, you know, OEM stuff, is that enough, you know? But all right, thanks for following along, guys. Appreciate everybody and everything. All right, here we go.
I'm feeling high.